The Bad Crew looked like super cheap knockoffs of the Nasty Boys.
I thought it was the Nasty Boys for quite a while, especially that blonde one.
Damage Control comes out and they try to take Hartgood away on a stretcher. And this pisses Taz off and he picks the stretcher up and dumps Hartgood back on the mat. Dino Sendoff, Donnie Allen, and Dirtbike Kid come out and they become casualties. Mikey Whipwreck comes out. Ultimately, Taz chokes him out. So Taz cannot be stopped.
And that's how you make a monster.
Yeah. Apparently, the Gangstas were supposed to have a match with a team called the Headhunters, but New Jack got arrested, so that's not going to happen. However, Mustafa wants to fight the Headhunters all by himself. Then two Humpty Dumpty looking motherfuckers come out and attack Mustafa. Turns out these are the Headhunters. Also, it turns out that Mustafa cannot wrestle the Headhunters all by himself.
I may have missed this whole segment.
Oh, good for you.
I don't remember any of it.
It was the black guy that wasn't New Jack.
Well, I thought he was the one that got beat up by the Headhunters. No?
Oh, no, that was the other black guy that wasn't New Jack. That was New Jack's friend.
Okay. Douglas has Cactus Jack, who's handcuffed in a figure four, and he won't relinquish it until he says, "I quit." And then, Whipwreck comes out and just lays one of the nastiest chair shots you may ever see. So remember when The Rock and Mankind had that I Quit match at the Royal Rumble? Seems like maybe they took inspiration from this match.
Sandman beats the shit out of everybody with his Singapore cane and screams "Mommy" into the mic. Then Missy Hyatt gives Sandman beer and cigarettes.
There you go.
Pop back on, and Brian Pillman has arrived in ECW. Styles wants to know why Pillman's here, and while Pillman's talking, the crowd sings Camptown Races. However, they changed the entirety of the song's lyrics to Bischoff takes it up the ass. So it's Bischoff takes it up the ass, doo-dah, doo-dah. Bischoff takes it up the ass, oh, the doo-dah day. This week is ECW CyberSlam 1996. We are, of course, in the ECW arena. And it starts off really cold with a 6-man tag match. The contestants are the Bad Crew and Judge Dredd versus Dino Sendoff, Donnie Allen, and the Dirtbike Kid. The crowd hated this match almost as much as I did. The Bad Crew looked like super cheap knockoffs of the Nasty Boys.
I thought it was the Nasty Boys for quite a while, especially that blonde one.
Yeah. Bad Crew and Dredd won. I thought Dredd was that 911 guy. I guess not. But he and the Bad Crew won after a heart attack clothesline off the top ropes to Donnie Allen, I think it was. Dino Sendoff disappeared, so it was basically like 3-on-2 for a while. A group of nobodies squashed another group of nobodies, is what I gathered from this match. Then Sandman comes and beats the shit out of everybody with a Singapore cane and repeatedly screams, "Yeah," into the mic. The crowd roared.
Is that what he was saying? I couldn't gather what the hell he was saying.
I heard, "Yeah! Yeah!" Then he said, "Now let's get extreme." So we start off with Spiros Greco versus El Puerto Riqueño. It's worth noting that El Puerto Riqueño is from Ecuador. Greco is allegedly Greek. He also looked like he was 50. Give or take. He looked like Burt Lancaster. But he had some nice looking flying clotheslines and a flying shoulder block. Then he decided to work on Riqueño's neck. So we saw a lot of chops and throat related offense. Greco then won with a sit-down pump handle slam. Crowd did not give two fucks about this match.
I don't blame them.
I kind of like Greco. He was a throwback. He kind of reminded me of Cesaro.
I mean, he did have a good look to him. And I was just thinking, man, ECW really love their stereotypes.
Yeah.
Like, that's their big thing, is stereotypes.
I think that's just wrestling in general.
Yeah, but it's more up front there, from what I saw.
Well, then we cut to Bill Alfonso in the ring. He's screaming about something. And then we get Taz versus Joel Hartgood. Joel Hartgood looked like the type of human pincushion you'd find in the deepest, darkest depths of a prison. And then Taz just beat the shit out of Hartgood until he choked him out with the Taz mission. Alfonso suggested he's going to fuck Joey Styles' sister at some point during the match. Taz then gets on the mic and says, "Just another victim." Damage Control comes out and they try to take Hartgood away on a stretcher. For some reason, this pisses Taz off and he picks the stretcher up and dumps Hartgood back on the mat. Dino Sendoff, Donnie Allen, and Dirtbike Kid come out for some reason, and they become casualties. Mikey Whipwreck comes out for some other reason, and he puts up a bit of a fight against Taz, but ultimately Taz chokes him out. So Taz cannot be stopped.
And that's how you make a monster.
Yeah.
WWE.
Notice how Whipwreck didn't just kick him in the balls and run away?
And also, the dude didn't have a competitive match with Taz.
Sure didn't. That went as long as Taz wanted it to.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool that Hartgood had like those two moves, and you're like, oh, he's starting to build it. Oh, no, he's not. Well, then we cut to Joey Styles talking in the ring. He kills some time until the lights go out. And then Styles exclaims, "Who the hell are you?" Lights pop back on, and Brian Pillman has arrived in ECW. Styles wants to know why Pillman's here. And while Pillman's talking, the crowd sings Camptown Races. However, they changed the entirety of the song's lyrics to Bischoff takes it up the ass. So it's Bischoff takes it up the ass, doo-dah, doo-dah. Bischoff takes it up the ass, oh, the doo-dah day. Pillman says, "Haven't you heard? I've been fired by Eric Bischoff." He then says this is a violation of his constitutional rights somehow. Then alludes to suing Bischoff and calls him a jerk-off. He goes, "Bischoff, I'm sorry, jerk-off." Got him. Pillman then says Bischoff can't take his rights away because he's at home where the Constitution was written. And he talks some more shit about Bischoff, even calls him a piece of fucking shit. Styles tries to go to something else. Pillman cuts him off, says he's running the interview now because he's Brian fucking Pillman. And he talks some more shit about smart marks and curses a bunch more. Says marks are crackheads and people who believe OJ didn't do it, or just like everybody in the ECW. So basically black people is what I gathered. Pillman then threatens to whip his dick out and piss on the ring. That's a bridge too far. Heyman and some other ECW guys come out, try to stop Pillman. Pillman talks some more shit, especially to Heyman, who then calls security. Two of the gayest looking wannabe cops come out and drag Pillman away. The fucking jackets they were wearing was just over the top. So they drag Pillman away and then they just stop. So Pillman gets into it with a fan, and then the fan takes a swing at Pillman. Pillman drags him into the ring and either hits him or stabs the fan with something until Shane Douglas.
I thought it was a fork.
Was it a fork? How the fuck did he get a fork?
He pulled it out of his boot.
Okay. Fair enough. I didn't see that. Okay, so he's stabbing him with a fork. Shane Douglas comes out and he made the save, and the 1A cops reactivated and chased Pillman off. Douglas grabs the mic and tells security to kick Pillman out of the ring, or he's kicking Pillman's ass. The fan is then taken away by damage control on a stretcher. And I love how the crowd whoops when damage control comes out. Like, whoop, 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 whoop. Fucking retarded. I love it. Shane Douglas then holds the show hostage until Pillman is physically removed from the building. Sure enough, Pillman's drug out by a group of men and then presumably kicked out. It's kind of cut before too much can happen there.
Yeah, they did kind of just cut to black after the segment, and then they're back to the next thing.
They did not ease you into anything either.
No.
It was just, here it is. Speaking of which, we have Mr. Hughes versus Bubba Ray Dudley. Bubba Ray came out with Sign Guy Dudley, Chubby Dudley, DW Dudley, formerly known as Dances with Dudley, and Big Dick Dudley. Bubba Ray dances before the match, and he dances for so long, Mr. Hughes just starts kicking the shit out of the other Dudleys. Hughes then beats the shit out of Bubba. Big Dick gets in Mr. Hughes' face. Hughes socks Dick with a right cross, starts beating Bubba's ass some more. Big Dick then cracks Mr. Hughes across the back with a crutch. Bubba Ray then wins after the worst splash I've ever seen in my life.
It was just there, this match.
Yeah, it was. Fortunately, it was very short.
Yeah.
The dancing was a whole hell of a lot longer than the actual match.
Yeah.
Mustafa the Gangstas comes out. Apparently, the Gangstas were supposed to have a match with a team called the Headhunters, but New Jack got arrested. So that's not going to happen. However, Mustafa wants to fight the Headhunters all by himself. Mustafa then cuts a promo. It was awful, and it reminded me of Uncle Elroy from Next Friday. I'm Uncle Elroy. The ring announcer then says Mustafa's going to wrestle by himself twice. Then there's some dumpy fuck comes out with a hole. Turns out his name is Damian Kane. Chick's name is Lady Alexandra. Kane offers Mustafa a job shining shoes and cleaning up around the house. Mustafa tells Lady Alexandra he wants a hand job. Kane then talks shit until Mustafa has enough, whips his ass. Then two Humpty Dumpty looking motherfuckers come out and attack Mustafa. They look like little mini Abdullah the Butchers. Turns out these are the headhunters.
Yes, very fat.
Also, it turns out that Mustafa cannot wrestle the headhunters all by himself. Damian Kane then talks some more shit, asks if there's any team man enough to take on the headhunters. They look like two little mini Big Shows come out. Well, two mini giants. Big Show is bald. It turns out to be Ron and Don Harris, the Bruise Brothers. There's a brawl for a good long while. They finally get back to the ring. One of the headhunters hits a monster moonsault. By far the only thing worth seeing in this match. However, one of the Bruise Brothers makes a pin on the other headhunter. Then the one that hit the moonsault pins his guy. Ref only counts for the Bruise Brother for some reason, so they won the match.
Yep, very odd. This whole thing.
That moonsault was awesome, though.
Yeah, you didn't expect that from someone like that.
Now they both need to do it at the same time. Joey Styles is back at the ring. He brings out Tommy Dreamer. Dreamer comes out with Beulah McGillicuddy. Apparently, Dreamer's shoulder is separated thanks to Raven. Raven comes out, says Dreamer got his girlfriend pregnant. And he's accompanied by some Chinese chick. Apparently, her name's Asia. Very creative. He's also with Stevie Richards and Blue Meanie. The Bruise Brothers and Shane Douglas come out for some reason. Douglas then takes Beulah to the back. Raven said to get her and your demon spawn out of here. Raven tells Dreamer to prepare to die. Then the Bruise Brothers attack Tommy Dreamer. Bruise Brothers and Raven beat the shit out of Dreamer, and they repeatedly crotch him on the ring post. I don't think this is something that you can just watch in the middle of.
What do you mean?
Well, I think it would make a whole lot of more sense if I knew what the fuck was going on.
Oh, yeah. Were they on TV at this point? Like a weekly show?
I don't know. Apparently, their first pay-per-view was in 97, so I don't know what the fuck we're reviewing.
There you go.
In my defense, though, it is a list of pay-per-views is what I got it from. Some guy named JT Smith comes out. He's fucking wrestling Axel Rotten. I guess Smith and Rotten were supposed to face the Dudley Boys. However, Smith would turn on Axel Rotten before the match. So now we get the pleasure of watching this one. So they brawl on the floor for a good long while, mostly all Rotten. Smith fires back up on Rotten and gets some offense going. Then he grabs a chair, climbs the top ropes, but fails. Rotten, for some reason, starts arguing with nobody. Smith then stands up and cracks Rotten in the back with the chair and gets the pin. Then he hits the moonsault from the top rope on Rotten while holding the chair. Hack Myers came out for some reason, and JT Smith whips his ass. Then Myers fires up on Smith, dumps him out of the ring. Smith goes back to beating Axel Rotten's ass on the floor. Myers gives chase, and they brawl to the back. I don't like JT Smith.
I think I may have missed this whole segment.
Oh, good for you.
I don't remember any of it.
It was the black guy that wasn't New Jack.
Well, I thought he was the one that got beat up by the headhunters. No?
Oh, no, that was the other black guy that wasn't New Jack. That was New Jack's friend.
Okay. I think he had sunglasses at the end. Maybe not. I don't know.
Well, moving on, we have the Eliminators and Stevie Richards versus Francine and the Pitbulls. It's a dog collar match. So the men are chained together, and then Francine's hooked up to Stevie Richards. Match starts, and Richards immediately super kicks Francine, and a brawl breaks out. The Eliminators and Stevie Richards take firm control of the match, while Francine's lifeless body just is on the mat. Stevie hangs out on the apron while the men fight, then super kicks the shit out of the Pitbulls when they gain the advantage. Then spills to the floor, out to the crowd. They fight to the platform in the stands where Rey Mysterio and Psychosis fought. Remember when Rey Mysterio hit that Frankensteiner?
Yeah.
Saturn did a moonsault. Wasn't as impressive, but he still did it. And then Saturn's partner got suplexed through a table. Then they all of a sudden stand up and head back to the ring. Then one of the Pitbulls hits Saturn's partner with a Frankensteiner. Stevie broke up the pin by cracking the dude in the head with a frying pan. He was going to use it on Francine, but he got stopped, which that's funny. She's defenseless. Let me take her out for good. It was the tiniest frying pan ever, by the way. Saturn and his partner each powerbomb the pit bulls, then grab Francine. Then one of the pit bulls spears Francine, but she's okay. And then the pit bulls super bomb Saturn and his partner. Then Stevie Richards gets super bombed. Then it jumps forward for some reason to Saturn and his partner kicking the shit out of the pit bulls. Then Francine pins Stevie Richards. Saturn and his partner make Francine pay after the match. They do their little eliminator move. She got it. Nice to see the little skirts getting it.
No women fair treatment there.
That is fair treatment. What are you talking
I guess
about?
it is.
That's the definition of fair treatment.
Yeah, I guess so.
She was a competitor in the match, too.
Yeah.
Well, after that, we have Too Cold Scorpio versus Sabu for the ECW television title. And it starts off hot, and Sabu immediately starts using a goddamn chair. And he does his springboard shit off the chair into the crowd. Scorpio sticks Sabu with a powerbomb, like a vicious powerbomb. Hits a top rope leg drop. And he does a face buster to Sabu on the chair. He tries to do another face buster, but Sabu reversed it. And then they fight to the floor again. Sabu beats Scorpio's ass with a chair. And they get back to the ring. Sabu does a springboard leg drop. And then Scorpio hits a super kick and starts pummeling Sabu with a chair and hits a stinger splash. Sabu is able to recover. He almost pins Scorpio, then locks in a modified camel clutch. Then he gets Scorpio in a rear naked choke, and Scorpio escapes and just kicks Sabu right in the balls, which was great. There's more back and forth. Scorpio hits an awesome moonsault. He got really high on it, too. It wasn't as awesome as the mini Abdullah the Butcher moonsault, but it's pretty good. Sabu hit an Arabian facebuster, can't put Scorpio away. Scorpio hits a Vader bomb and goes for his move, but misses. More back and forth. They each hit a victory roll from the top rope. They fight to the floor again. Sabu does a springboard moonsault and he gets more of the guardrail than Scorpio. Then Saturn lays Scorpio on a table, does a springboard flip from the ring, but it looked like Scorpio moved at the last second, so Sabu went crashing through the table. And then, they continue to put on an A+ match until the time ran out because it was for the TV title and there's a time limit and shit.
Yeah, easily the best match on the night, I would say. Yeah, there was a story told during the match. It got a little sloppy towards the end because they were both so spent.
But it made sense. The sloppiness looked good.
Yeah, like Scorpio went for some kind of power bomb and he couldn't get him up, and then they both collapsed to the floor, collapsed on the mat. It was like, man, these guys are just exhausted. And there's still time left. Well, I didn't know there was a time limit until I heard the guy say 2 minutes or whatever he said.
I wish they would do more time limit finishes. They need to bring that back.
Yeah. And then also, like, Scorpio's, like, trunks were all ripped up because he's in such a brawl.
And they were evenly matched.
Yeah. Now, I did think it was over when Sabu missed that springboard moonsault thing to the outside through the table, but he kicked out. But yeah, great match all around for that.
And it kind of put like a damper on the rest of the pay-per-view because I'm like, man, how are you going to top that? And they didn't.
No, they didn't. As a matter of fact, all the other matches seemed like they were cut short because that one went so long. But
that could be.
They had it. Of course, they had it planned because it went to a time limit draw.
Right. Well, after that, we have Shane Douglas versus Cactus Jack. Starts with Douglas jumping Cactus. I think it was during the announcement. And it spills to the floor because every match has to go to the floor. It's ECW. I shouldn't nitpick. Cactus starts using a crutch on Douglas. Douglas does a dive into the stands from the top rope like Sabu. Then he Pillmanizes Cactus's leg with a Vader bomb. Cactus elbow drops a table that's on top of Douglas. Then he tries to win with a pile driver. The ref then just randomly hands Douglas handcuffs. And he tags Cactus with them. Then he cuffs Cactus' hands behind his back and starts clobbering him with a chair. And what he wants Cactus to say he quits, which Cactus refuses. Instead, he calls for Mikey Whipwreck, who does eventually come out, but he turns on Cactus, and Douglas gets the pin.
Yeah, Douglas has Cactus Jack, who's handcuffed in a figure 4, and he won't relinquish it until he says, I quit. And then, Whipwreck comes out and just lays one of the nastiest chair shots you may ever see. It looked like he hit him right in the bridge of the nose. So remember when The Rock and Mankind had that I Quit match at the Royal Rumble? Seems like maybe they took
Yeah.
inspiration from this match.
Could be.
Because, yeah, he was handcuffed and he was getting hit with the chair over and over again.
I could see that. Yeah. I don't know about the Shane Douglas guy, though. He seems to be involved in everything. I don't like the guy that needs to be involved in everything.
He does seem to have a lot of edge, though. I do like that.
All he does is just say fuck a lot. It's not really edge.
I think Styles said at one point he's ECW's loose cannon, so he's like parallel to what Brian Pillman is.
Okay.
Hey, that's what he said.
Well, our main event of the evening is Raven versus the Sandman. It's for the ECW World Heavyweight title. And Sandman has the longest fucking entrance. I had to skip it. I skipped it, and I kept like skipping, and I would kept getting into the middle of his entrance.
Yeah, it was a long entrance. He took about, well, first of all, the music was playing, and he didn't even show up until like 2 minutes into the music was playing. He shows up at the top of the mezzanine, and he's just holding this cane up, and then they go down, and him and this whoever the chick was he was with, and they start smoking cigarettes and drinking beers before the match, by the way.
I've noticed that it's because Enter the Sandman's not playing. That was his entrance.
They already started using it.
I believe so. But of course, they're not going to have it on anything we're watching because that copyright bullshit.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It would have been a 10 out of 10 entrance if it was.
Well, Raven attacks Sandman before the match starts. Doesn't matter, though, because Sandman takes control with his ugly-ass offense. Raven hits a even flow, but the ref gets distracted. Then Sandman hits Raven with a DDT, but Raven's girlfriend breaks up the pin. Naturally, we get a cat fight because Missy Hyatt's with Sandman. During the commotion, Stevie Richards hits Sandman with a Stevie kick, but Sandman kicks out. Ref gets taken out, and Sandman hits a leg drop from the top rope. Ref was fine, though. So the ref gets taken out again. And then Raven's gang all attack Sandman. Raven goes for the cover, but the ref's still fucked up, and Sandman has enough time to kick out. Raven wins after sending Sandman face first into a chair from the top rope, followed by an even flow DDT. Then Sandman beats the shit out of everybody with his Singapore cane and screams mommy into the mic. Then Missy Hyatt gives Sandman beer and cigarettes.
There you go. He's so unorthodox, that Sandman.
He sure is.
And by the way he was hitting the people with the Singapore cane.
Oh, he was not gentle.
Yeah, poor Blue Minnie was really getting it. It's like, man, I was just thinking like how they hit today. You know, they got to wait for the flat back and it's all soft. And he's just like swinging it like it's like he's trying to hit a home run to the head too.
Well, Mikey Whipwreck's betrayal of Cactus Jack led to the two facing each other in Jack's farewell match at Big Ass Extreme Bash, which Cactus Jack won. After the match, Jack hugged Whipwreck and left ECW to join the WWF. Also worth noting that Whipwreck would wrestle his one and only WWF match against Taz. It was to further an ECW WWF angle somehow. Raven and the Sandman would continue their feud over the ECW title. The two would wrestle each other in several matches throughout the year until Sandman finally won at Ultimate Jeopardy. Too Cold Scorpio defended the World Television Championship against Sabu in a rematch at Big Ass Extreme Bash. Of course, the Eliminators and the Pitbulls continued their feud as the Pitbulls began pursuing the World Tag Team Championship. Two teams competed in a match for the titles at Big Ass Extreme Bash.
Is that our next one?
No, that is not. Our next one is Barely Legal, 1997. This is apparently the first ECW pay-per-view. But before that, we have WCW Slamboree 1999. We're in St. Louis, Missouri. 10 matches were contested at the event. The main event was Kevin Nash versus Diamond Dallas Page for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. Other prominent matches were Roddy Piper versus Ric Flair. We had Gorgeous George and Charles Robinson having a match. I guess it was to reinstate Randy Savage as a wrestler. Yeah. Rick Steiner faced Booker T.
And this Gorgeous George is the woman.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yep. Rick Steiner faced Booker T for the WCW World Television Championship. And then we have Sting versus Goldberg.
Uh-oh. That's a good one.
And that is our Wrestling Rewind.
Good stuff as always. Good stuff as always.